Fighting games are Terry.
Yes, fighting games are. SSNK is making sure that fighting games are in fact Terry.
They're all Terry. He's always been there.
Yes.
He'll always be there.
When you played Super Mario Bros, you thought the guy jumping in the fucking baseball hat. You thought that was Mario. No, it was actually Terry Bogard.
Super Bogard brothers.
Yes.
Oh boy, yeah. So my memory for what's the news this past 2 weeks is just simply Fighting Collection 2 and Terry and Street Fighter 6. Yeah.
A couple more things than that, but mostly those. Yes. So, before we hit up those, the Marvel Collection got a release date. It's coming out.
Yes, it did.
I think it's coming out the same day as Terry. No, I'm wrong.
No, it wouldn't be. Because Dead Rising is like a couple days before Terry, and I can't see Capcom loading 3 big releases all in the space of like 3 or 4 days.
I'm looking at the Japanese release date for the Marvel Collection, and that's the 12th. I'm assuming they're not releasing the Japanese version earlier than the international. So
it's unlikely, though it does happen. Earth Defense Force 6 released like a year or two before in Japan than it did in the West.
Yeah. So yeah, that Marvel Collection got a release date. They announced that it's gonna be coming with a comic.
Yeah, that's curious. Like, on one hand, it's like, oh, well, are we gonna see Marvel, like a Marvel 2 comic? Because Marvel 2 is the big highlight of the collection. In which case, it'd probably be Cable and Loveheart. But like, no one really cares about Cable and Loveheart. There's a reason that the front cover is Ryu and Cyclops, you know?
I mean, Cable, some people might care about Cable depending on how he's written at least. Loveheart, no. Like,
yeah. I mean, Cable's still in X-Men territory, and with X-Men, it's usually like, yeah, Cable's fun, but it's not been since the 90s that Cable was the big star of the X-Men. It's more or less went back to Wolvie and Cyclops.
Yeah. And then, the big news.
Man, Cyclops' PR manager is putting in the hours.
Yeah. And then, I guess, big news. Norimaro is back.
Yeah. Now, I have to ask, do you have to then flip on the Japanese version to play with Norimaro?
Probably. Now, here's the real question, though. Is Norimaro localized? Because, and here's the reason I'm asking. In Marvel 1, Norimaro was completely localized. They even cut out a couple of his attacks, so where he's naked for like a frame. And
okay.
Yeah, like his super in his super for 2 frames he's taking a bath, and then you see his chest, and they cut those 2 frames.
I see.
But yeah, they did all of that work, and then just cut the character. Like they redrew the sprites because he has the speech bubbles. They redrew the sprites so the speech bubbles are in English. They translated his dialogue that is in the game. They translated his weak quotes, I think. They translated his ending. He was finished, and then they just cut him.
Someone put in the hours only for one of the corporate guys to go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You want to give this to the West? Somehow we think this might be lost on them.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, the question here is, since they went back and added a training mode to Marvel 2, which I assume would be a lot more work than just taking the assets that shipped with the game that just got disabled and re-enabling them. Will Norimaro will be localized.
Yeah. Oh boy, I love that.
Okay. So yeah, the release date is September 12th digitally and November 22nd physically.
Okay.
But yeah, let us see. 'Cause I feel like I saw something else. But that might have been for Fighting Collection 2. Yes, it was for Fighting Collection 2.
All right.
Oh boy.
What's that? What kind of old boy is that?
Good.
Okay.
Alright, so let's talk about Collection 2, I suppose.
Do you want to talk about Ingrid?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Capcom Fighting Jam?
Does anyone?
Oh, Pink might have give it a heads up. I can't tell. Yes. Alright. So yeah. Yeah, Capcom Fighting Jam is certainly an inspired decision, but they did say that they want to port all of their fighting games, so fair enough. You know?
Yeah, the thing with Capcom Fighting James, Fighting James. Okay, anyways, Capcom Fighting Jam. The thing with Capcom Fighting Jam is that it sucks fucking dick, but it did happen and it is a part of Capcom Fighting game history.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, it's like on one hand, yeah, it's really stinky and I wouldn't pay money for it. But I will pay money for CVS 2.
Yeah. And like that, yeah, that's the thing. Like most, if not if not all of the other games that are on Capcom Fighting Jam in that collection are bangers. So like,
Yeah.
I even went out of my way and played Power Stone for the first time, the second one at least, just to see what the hubbub is about, and like, it's alright. Not my cup of tea. Like, really my thing with Power Stone is that, people, like, and I've, the way I thought about Power Stone was that people say that this is what Arena Fighter should be. So, what really separates it from the other Arena Fighters that I've played, and generally, like, stage interaction and the camera, and that's it. Otherwise, it's also just like fucking random ass bullshit. So like, whatever. Either way, yeah. So
I can't say anything about Power Stone because I've never played Power Stone itself. I've only played knockoffs.
the Billy and Mandy game is 90% of the way there. So,
I see.
Like, Power Stone is just like Power Stone. The only major difference between Power Stone and Billy and Mandy is that in Power Stone, you have to get 3 gems to transform into a different version of your character, and then you can do the super move instead of just building up the meter and doing the super move. And also,
I see.
And also, Power Stone has more guns.
Yeah, that makes sense. Billy and Mandy, if memory serves, it depended on the stage.
Yeah. And legitimately, the guy that I chose in Power Stone, if he transformed into his other version, his normals became guns. So, but yeah. So, CVS1 Pro, they already said that. That's cool. It just gives us 2 more characters, because Dan and Joe Higashi were not in the base roster for CVS1.
Yeah.
But CVS2, they teased that EX mode stuff, and like, what is EX mode? So there's a list here called changes from original, which talks about the EX mode stuff. Let me read that for you. You can now switch between versions of the game via the EX settings. Select Original to play the arcade version, or select EO version to play the Capcom vs. SNK 2 EO version. Roll cancelling into a move does not grant invincibility in the EO version.
Oh.
So it's just, do you want roll cancelling or do you not want roll cancelling? Then,
I see.
Evil Ryu, Orochi Iori, Shinakuma, and Ultimate Rugal, God Rugal, fuck him, are now playable. They can be accessed via game settings, EX settings, hidden characters. EX settings include a same character selection option. By enabling it, 2 or more of the same character can be on the same team.
Ooh.
This is new, they added this.
That's interesting to include both the arcade and console versions.
It's not even only just the because EO is extended online or something like that. I forget, but it's the GameCube version because they note EOism and GameCubeism cannot be used. But
Huh. Excuse me.
but yeah. Also, once again, EX settings include same character selection option. Now, they listed out 3 EX settings, I suppose, but hidden characters are like a thing under EX settings, like they are separate option under that instead of being part of the EX settings. What other settings are there that they're not telling us about?
Yeah. I imagine part of it is still game speed,
Probably.
or difficulty, round amount.
But yeah, but that's not the EX mode settings. So, did they put fucking Groove Edit into the EX settings? Is my question.
Oh, geez, that's a big one.
Yeah, because that would be a choice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically like I'm happy with having this fucking CVS2 available on modern hardware. Like that alone makes me happy. But the fact that they improved it, because you can now be fucking 3 Kim Cup ones.
Something very strange has occurred in the last few days.
Yeah.
Where I have been for like a year now, well over a year and probably several years now, been going, when are they going to port Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to modern hardware? When are they going to port CVS 2 to modern hardware? When are they going to port the Time Splitters trilogy to modern hardware? And the space of like a month, hey, yes, so Time Splitters, also Marvel vs. Capcom, also Capcom vs. SNK, all in like rapid fire succession. I was like, what the fuck? All that waiting, and then they all come all at once?
Yeah, we're in the 2000s revival.
Yeah, I guess that on some level that was inevitable, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Jinko Jeeves have come back. I don't know if they're gone already, because I don't keep up with that shit. but I heard that they came back for a bit, at least.
All right.
So yeah. That fucking Plasma Sword.
That's another big one that was just out of nowhere.
Because like we already, I guess we already talked about the 3D game because Power Stone, but I figured that if they do, bless you,
Excuse me.
if they do, bless
Excuse
you,
me.
if they do 3D games, I figured it would be a dedicated collection to 3D games and not, alright, here's 3D games and also Capcom vs. SNK because, you need more value. But yeah, like Plasma Sword people genuinely have seen people online complain that there's no Star Gladiator 1 and there's no rival schools, and like Star Gladiator, having looked into the matter a bit, Star Gladiator is literally the first 3D Capcom fighting game. Honestly, in hindsight, yes, it shows.
Eh?
Like, Star Gladiator is fine. It's, it's serviceable, it's manageable. You can be okay with it. I like. It's one of those things where like, if they don't plan on which, I was gonna say if they don't plan on releasing it, which they do. I know that they do. So like, it's only a matter of time. But if they didn't, I guess then I would want them to put like a plot summary and like a couple of the guest endings and the plot summary of the first game, because we're getting the second game. But I guess it's only a matter of time until we get Star Gladiator and Rival Schools. It's just, people will play Plasma Sword and people will play Project Justice, and then they will they will get Collection 4, or whichever one that will be, and it will have Star Gladiator and it will have Rival Schools, and they will go, wait a second, this feels bad. This feels like the other game that I played, but worse.
Yeah. It's almost like they made sure to port the good ones first.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Like usually, usually I don't throw this at people because I feel like they're like, depending on the argument, it doesn't even really apply. But I saw someone argue that Star Gladiator not being in the thing makes sense because it's the first one, whatever. But Rival Schools still holds up. No, I played that game 3 months ago, dude. No, it is just as jank as Star Gladiator because it's not the first, it's the second 3D fighting game that Capcom made. Like,
yeah,
it is.
Rival Schools is one of those ones where there's some crazy Rival Schools fans out there.
Yeah. Like, Rival Schools kind of strikes me as like the Dino Crisis, the fighting game Dino Crisis fans.
Yeah, that's about right on. Like I sympathize with the Dino Crisis fans, and if they ever get around to announcing a new Dino Crisis or Dino Crisis remaster, I'll be like, yay, good for those people who love Dino Crisis. I don't get it. But then again, I always thought dinosaurs were kind of dumb, personally. So
yeah, I mean that's partially why I have no interest in it myself. It's that I don't like dinosaurs. I don't like Resident Evil. Guess what Dino Crisis is?
Yeah.
So like, it only makes sense that I would have no interest in Dino Crisis. I think with Rival Schools.
Yeah.
With Rival Schools, Rival Schools kind of has the same problem for me as Power Stone, actually. As it turns out, where like none of the characters really appeal to me, so like I don't care. And then also just Rival Schools 1's gameplay is also very jank and old and stinky. Project Justice is good. I had fun with Project Justice. It was literally it was genuinely literally just, what if we took the good ideas from Rival Schools and made it feel smoother, so you actually feel like you can have fun while playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, good on Capcom for going, hey, maybe Project Justice is the foot we need to potentially bring back Rival Schools as a franchise instead of doing things chronologically and then making it so people remember how Rival Schools actually was. Same with Star Gladiator.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit there of like, okay, here's Akira and Street Fighter. So people got to be like, oh, I like this character design. Sure you do. You want to see more?
Yeah, it's also funny because they announced the Marvel collection, and they went like it kind of feels like these announcements being so close together. It kind of feels like they went, all right, let's do the Marvel collection, and then they went, wait a second, Hayato's on the roster. Shit. All right, I guess we're porting Plasma Sword so people know where Hayato is from.
With a policy though of we're doing everything.
I mean, yeah, it's What if because they still have the design docs for the cancelled version of Fighting Jam, the 3D one. What if they just port that in one of these collections? Fuck it.
Oh, dude.
Like we just get like the fucking depreciated like finished code for the 3D Fighting Jam with Strider and the Ingrid's fucking brothers.
Yeah. Oh man, that one did have a ton of OC characters. That was right. That was
It
weird.
it had 3.
Still, that was a large amount.
But yeah, it was the OCs were Ingrid, not Crackerjack, and not Angel from Drag Tenshi.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You know, Ingrid almost makes me think like, okay, so that's why we don't have Alpha 3 Upper Plus.
Ah.
Like, ooh, yeah, that's really her game, isn't it? In some, no, Capcom Fighting Jam is her game, but beyond that, that's the real Street Fighter, you know, for her.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. Ingrid's involvement, to me felt kind of like the thing with Alpha Upper is that a lot of those whatchamacallit, which by the way I actually learned before I forget. I actually learned. You know how you hate how Dolls Cammy is in every crossover?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually because of Marvel. Dolls Cammy was in Marvel first, and then they ported her back into Alpha.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that almost certainly still would have just been them saving time. Like, okay, we'll make Dolls Cammy for Marvel, and then we'll backport her to Alpha when they probably planned on making Dolls Cammy for Alpha to begin with, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, like the Ingrid being in Upper or Max or whichever version of Alpha that has the most characters. Like that doesn't just strike me as like, well, we already have the assets for Ingrid, so I guess we might as well.
Don't know where else to put her.
Yeah, the trash next
That
to her
would have been
brothers.
the wise choice. And eventually that was what they did.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, that's the other thing. Do you know where Ingrid comes from? Because we actually have it confirmed.
Oh boy, I feel like I don't want to hear this.
So, in a developer interview, I forget when this developer interview occurred. If it was relatively recently, if memory serves, but it was the I think it was the designer, one of the designers for Street Fighter 6, interviewing one of the guys from way back when, and they were talking about like, oh, Captain Fighting Jam and all the cancelled version and all that, and like the question came, where does Ingrid come from? And oh, Ingrid, yeah, she comes from the cancelled game, and then it was just a bunch of stars. But you can count the letters because they made it so you can see. You can count the letters, and it's Capcom vs SNK 3. She was gonna be a CVS 3 character.
Oh, that's sad on several levels.
Yeah, because apparently, right after they finished making CVS 2, they started working on CVS 3. And then Capcom looked outside and looked out the window, saw Senki bleeding from 15 stab wounds, and went, actually, never mind, I don't think we need CVS 3 right now.
Nah, we're good, actually. Yeah. We thought about it, and then we thought about it some more. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Fighting games, man.
Yeah.
Fighting games.
Oh, damn.
Ain't they amazing?
then I guess in the news that Pink posted, both the Marvel Collection and the Fighting Collection 3 will be coming to Xbox as well.
Yes, they were suspiciously absent before.
Yeah, Capcom sent a letter to Microsoft going, we want to release these games through your system, and Microsoft wrote back, we don't want games. And then
We've decided we don't like making money.
Yeah, and then they went, and then like a week passed, they saw the hype, and they went, actually wait, never mind, we would like those games, please.
Oh, it's God bless Microsoft.
Yeah.
They move in mysterious ways. Sometimes they come in at an angle. Sometimes they come in from below.
I mean, the thing is, you know, there is the old, I think it was Pat who said it, that you know, the video game industry is just waiting for your opponent to shoot themselves in the foot and then not shooting yourself in the foot. But it really feels like it really feels like more than ever that both of the large companies that are not Nintendo are just trying. Like they're doing remove your feet any percent speedruns.
Yeah. Like, Nintendo and Valve really just kind of sit on the sidelines like, meh.
Yeah, Nintendo is on the side, like, here's a man-sized Wiimote. It actually works. That's not a joke, they actually did that. There's a Nintendo museum, and they made it, they have scaled up controllers, and they all work, and you can play games on the original consoles that they have running with the big controllers, and it's like, all right, so if you want to play Super Mario Brothers, it's gonna require two of you. One of you runs and jumps, the other one has the D-pad. when this is in the like Nintendo Museum or whatever they opened, and they showed this off by having Miyamoto and an intern play Mario Brothers. And it's they worked better together than you would expect from the get up. But in the background, you could see another intern trying to play a Wii game, and the Wii mode was at least a head higher or a head taller, if not two, than the guy.
It's so fucking good.
And what's better is there was also a similarly sized fucking nunchuck. So, like, some motherfucker better go there and play Tatsunoko with that shit.
I love people. They're dumb.
Like I just can't help but imagine. Like, okay, you go to the Nintendo Museum. I don't know if like I don't know if they have just like a list of games that you can play or whatever, but like imagine you can bring your own games. You bring on a disc of No More Heroes. You play No More Heroes with the man-sized fucking Wiimote, which is literally impossible, by the way.
Yeah.
Like you actually need to you need to bring a tech partner, and both of you need to fucking German suplex the controls so that Travis does a suplex in the game. This has been Miyamoto's plan all along. You actually need to do the moves in real life to do them in the game.
Finally, true peak game design.
Yeah. I think I also remember seeing a giant Virtual Boy, which raises questions.
Yes, it does.
I mean, hey, you can play Wario World or that one Mario Tennis game on the Virtual Boy. But either which way. Yeah, the Fighting Collection.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what we haven't really discussed. Like, I guess we didn't talk about rival schools, but like, What is there to say about rival schools that hasn't been said?
I've never played it.
I've played both of them. They chose they chose the good one.
Yeah, you said that.
Alright, then, in other news, Guilty Gear Strive is getting a Switch edition. It will have rollback, it will not have crossplay.
Woohoo!
Then what else? I remember seeing something else that is of similar caliber. Well, like, good for the people who care, we just don't really.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't care about everything.
Yeah. I can't seem to find it.
Piss.
Well, whatever. Alright. Then. And I don't know.
All right.
I guess. Okay, it's Fighting Collection 2, actually, not 3. The one with CVS. But yeah, like, I guess the question then can be raised. What is Fighting Collection 3?
Yeah, we're getting into the licensed games that would be a pain in the ass to try and get the licensee to bring on over. Because, like, okay, JoJo's. Well,
Yeah,
we
Joe.
have to get- I was just gonna say we have to actually get the JoJo license in.
That's the thing. You don't need to get the JoJo license alone, because like I'm pretty sure if Capcom called up Shueisha, they'd go, yeah, all right, sure. But the problem there is that Shueisha has an exclusivity license with Bandai, I think, and that means that means that Capcom would have to ring up Bandai, and Bandai would have to go, okay, yeah, fine, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, I got a sneeze coming in.
So that's why. Well, that's bless you. That's the problem with JoJo's is that it's Bandai, not Shueisha or whoever owns the Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers do own the JoJo license in the West, I think, or something like that.
I bet they're happy with the amount of money they're making off of it now.
Yeah.
That probably went from nothing to something real quick.
I don't know. The first thing they did was sell it to Netflix so it would generate no money again.
Yeah.
Like they went, hey, this thing that made us no money is making money again. We need that to stop. Let's release this in batches. But yeah, that Tatsunoko versus Capcom is similar but much worse because Tatsunoko is, like the problem there isn't even just okay, so who owns the anime rights and who owns the whatchamacallit, the publishing rights. It's would Tatsunoko agree to a re-release at this point? Because they own the rights, both of those rights. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know shit about Tatsunoko. They're the Astro Boy guys, right?
They're the what guys?
They're the Astro Boy guys, right? I'm pretty sure they aren't.
I don't know. One of the fucking randomest bits of information I came across was that apparently the guy who came up with Astro Boy was a furry, and then we only know this because apparently his working desk was filled with like fucking furry feet pics.
Oh boy,
yeah, like And I just like it's one of those things where like this information wasn't out there for 40 years, and randomly the entire internet just went, "You need to know this information now." So either way, Tatsunoko they do like Sentai cartoons more or less. Like it's the Power Rangers but cartoons.
Okay, that looked
So
like
it's-
most of the Tatsunoko roster when I saw Tatsunoko versus Capcom. Yeah.
Yeah, I've played the game. It was made by Aiding. It is literally just Marvel 3, but before Marvel 3. That's how the game feels.
A lot of that. I mean, they set up Frank and Phoenix right there. So
Oh, them and Zero.
yeah, that was. I always forget that Zero wasn't in Marvel 2.
But yeah, yeah, that's a problem there. The only other like problem game for Capcom, potential problem game for Capcom would be Masada Cross, where they own the IP, but Arxis made the game, and I'm not sure how that works legally. Because Atlas released Persona 4 Arena, and Arxis didn't work on the release, I don't think.
I wonder how much of it would really be that, like, okay, but it's still developed in-house by Capcom, or at least cases like Aiding, where they didn't really promote who developed it.
Yeah.
Arxis is a known developer. Aiding is like if you pay attention to Capcom and you're aware of who Capcom hires to do this stuff. But Aiding is not really a name.
Yeah. Aiding tried becoming a name, and then they got settled with fucking DNF Duel. And I don't know whose fault that was, but it was a fault.
Yeah.
But yeah. So those games, and then I guess also potentially Rise Problems, the EX series, which like it's a Rika. They can literally just ask ask Rika, hey, can you release these games? And Rika will go yes.
Yeah.
Like out of all of the companies that they would need to hit up for rights problems, yeah, that we've listed, Oriko is the least problematic one.
Which does give me hope, because I'm pretty excited. Like, you know, JoJo's. Well, I guess for us there's a little bit of bias there because Street Fighter EX isn't on Fightgate, right? Whereas JoJo is.
I mean, I don't know. Like the problem is that 90% of the games that Capcom could release at this point, I've either played growing up or still have access to myself. So
Yeah.
like I literally played the EX series a month ago, all of them. So
Well, I haven't.
yeah. It's fun, but it has its quirks. The major thing that I think would also catch you off guard, because I forgot about it completely, is that the EX games don't have Tatsumakis.
No, I've seen Ken and Ryu do Tatsumaki's in the X3.
That's the supers, but you can't do regular Tatsumakis.
Why?
Yeah. Instead,
Really?
yes,
That's a curious change.
yes. Instead, what every Shoto gets is the Ryo Sakazaki move that they just christened Tatsumaki Senpukyaku, and then you can recall it for up to 3 hits.
Okay. Well, that's a bit odd.
Yep, it feels very bad when you're not used to it.
How bizarre.
And then like the characters are built off of their alpha versions, so it's like, okay, so I have Akuma. He doesn't have Demon Flip. He has Demon Roll. He has the Stinky Tatsumaki. And otherwise he plays like Ryu.
Oh no.
Yeah, Now, I don't know if thankfully, but Makuma is only in one game. So, I don't have to suffer him a lot.
Yeah.
And then after that, I can just play like fucking Garuda or Shadow Geist or Mania or Doctrine Dark. And all of those characters were made for this control scheme so they don't feel off.
All right.
Which, and by the way, Daru Mister, I learned recently, one of Daru Mister's scrap names was Mr. Wood. And
Why'd they get rid of it?
I don't know, but if you go into the coding for the game, then the game still calls him Mr. Wood in I think training or something like that internally, which is how which is why we know that was probably a name for him.
That's good.
But it wasn't Mr. like spelled normally. It was with a Y. So yeah. And then apparently there's also Necromancer. I keep hearing about Necromancer. I don't think I've ever seen Necromancer. I'm gonna look it up.
I have never seen Techromancer before in my life.
Oh boy, I just saw one image. And oh boy, this looks early. Apparently it's a Dreamcast game. It's set in the like it might not be set in the same universe, I guess, but it does have Blodia. So it is the third Cyberbots game, because Cyberbots was actually the second Cyberbots game, and the first one was a beat 'em up. So there's an image of Technomancer. There's what looks like Mazinger Z beating up a fucking whatchamacallit, one of those Mechasalt robots.
Yeah. It's G Kaiser versus Wise Duck. At least according to the top of the screen.
Okay, yeah. In Technomancer, the Dreamcast version specifically, you can play as Jin Sato and Blodia.
Oh, weird. I mean, that makes sense, I guess, but still. I have to assume that it's not really that similar to Cyberbots, because on the Dreamcast, you're not going in a 3D fighting game. You're not going to want the characters just flying all over the screen like they do in Cyberbots.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll have to look into the game to figure it out. But I guess it's good to know that this exists. So, yeah.
Education.
What other
That makes what? 3 games for Jin Satome?
2. Jin Saotome is actually not in the first Cyberbots game. Blodia is. Like, so someone else.
Jin Satome's in the first Cyberbots game. You can pick him as a pilot.
No, the Cyberbots is the second Cyberbots game.
Oh, that's right. Well, also Marvel 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the whole thing with Cyberbots is apparently Blodia is the thing that links it together. Because in the first game, whatever it's called, I forget, Blodia is one of the mechs, and someone else pilots it. And then Cyberbots has Jin piloting Blodia, and then we just get stuck like that, I suppose.
And several of the bosses from the Cyberbots beat 'em up are converted into playable characters in the Cyberbots game, no?
Yes, like the octopus. whatever it's called,
Yeah.
I forget. But that one definitely is one of the bosses in the beat 'em up.
Yep.
But yeah, so
Huh.
yeah, it really did. Like I guess if we discount all of the potential rights issues, regardless of how realistic or not that they might be, we could have Technomancer, Rival Schools, Star Gladiator. There's nothing really selling this collection yet. Like it's one of those things where like these are good picks for letting people figure out if they liked some of these older games, but these are not gonna be like these won't be the CVS 2 or the Marvel 2 or the Darkstalkers or I don't know Third Strike of the collection.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, how much of if they did a Fighting Collection 3, how much of it would just be jank?
Yeah. I mean, what else? One second, what else could they have? Because like, okay, so we have these three. The EX games, I feel like if they really want them to, then the EX games would probably be bundled with Technomancer just because it's all 3D. But then I guess what do I know? CVS2 is coming with 4 3D games, so
Yeah.
like I'm genuinely just trying to figure out what even else is there that they could put in these, because like okay, so we have all of these things. We have Basara Cross, which isn't on this graphic that I'm looking at, but I'm aware of Basara Cross, so as unlikely as it is to actually come over here. Like, what else do they even have at this point? Like
I'm not even really, I'm not an expert.
like it's the home ports, or the some of those enhanced ports of some of the later games that I guess they could port, and then like what else? Fucking get the rights to the Alien vs Predator, beat him up again.
Oh, he's still my beating heart.
I mean, that game is good. That's the best beat 'em up I've played.
It's that. I mean, it's fascinating. 2 of the player characters are predators.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like that, they wanted to put the chick from that into CVS2, but they couldn't because of rights issues. Because technically she's I forget if she counts as an alien or a predator character, but basically it's an unknown by them.
Yeah.
And that's why Monkey's on the roster.
Man, the thing about Alien vs Predator is that they made the movies, but the games are always better.
Yeah. I mean, with the movies, I saw the first one and I thought it was okay. It was nothing to write home about. Apparently, there's more.
Well, there was. Oh man, because there was AVP 1, but then there was like AVP Requiem or whatever. I think that introduced the goddamn. That was the one that introduced the Pred Alien, right? I could be wrong.
I don't know. I didn't see that one. The one I saw was the one where the only like this one woman survives, and then the predator just gives up and goes, "Fuck it, all right, you bested me. Here, have a spear."
That sounds like a predator, all right.
He just got bored, and then. No, actually, I think she actually kills one, and then like an entire spaceship with predators comes down, and the like elder one is like, "Here, have a spear. All right, good. You're a good warrior. See you in 1,000 years." And then they just fuck off, and then the movie ends.
Later.
Uh, that movie had some highlights for me, but then I also haven't seen it in 10 plus years. But the game was definitely better. The arcade game.
Yeah. It's like one of those cool concepts that a movie can't really live up to, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Freddy vs. Jason should have always been an arena fighter.
I mean, there is Terror Drome.
True, but Terrorism doesn't allow either of them to chuck, like, I don't know, wheelchairs at each other.
Huh? Oh, I got to sneeze. It's not coming. All right, proceed.
All right. Well, but yeah, like I guess that is the other thing of, like, okay, so we had the Punisher in the Marvel collection, and honestly, it's just the Punisher in the Marvel collection, but still, they sometimes they will go out of their like they will include non-fighting games, or yeah, we had Puzzle Fighter in the Darkstalkers one. So, like, sometimes they will include non-fighting games if they make sense. So, do we even have any of those that they could include?
Ooh. I mean, there was probably still beat 'em ups they didn't put in that beat 'em up collection.
Genuinely, the only one I can think of is the Alien vs Predator one, which is obvious just because of rights issues.
Yeah.
Like Capcom's beat 'em ups that I know of, or something like Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Alien vs Predator, the D&D ones, and then the ones that were supposed to be D&D but were all licensed, and then that and them the license for the D&D ones, and all of the others. I only know of Captain Commando because he's in Marvel.
Yeah, it's a neat little game, but really when you think about it, the character that should be the standout is Baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
I mean, the funny thing there is, I saw, like, a breakdown of his origins, and apparently Captain Commando was a mascot for Capcom USA, and then eventually I forgot if it was Capcom USA or Capcom Japan that made the game, but one of them was just like, "Hey, why not we put him in a beat 'em up?" And then he was in Marvel. So, like, Captain Commando, like, Captain Commando is, I guess, forgotten in a way, but at the same time, like, he was originally there, like, he was made to be a mascot character to talk about, like, the controls in the instruction booklets. Those things don't exist anymore.
Yeah, no.
Where
Not
is he,
really a thing.
where is he supposed to go?
Excellent question. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out if I can think of any, like, smaller Capcom games that they made, but like, okay, that would be funny, but Capcom Fighting Collection 3 comes with Mega Man, what was it called? I forget. But Mega Man has a boss rush arcade game, but two of them, so it comes with those. Which, I mean, those games are in Street Fighter 6, so. Hmm. Well, I can think of anything else.
I can't either.
Okay. Now let's see if anything else has happened that we're forgetting about. Not really, not that I can tell. Oh yeah, I did come across a list of hot Marvel characters.
Hot in what way?
Not hot, cut.
Cut. Okay, cut. Well, the classic is Human Torch, right?
Yeah. Do you remember the reason they cut Human Torch?
It makes your Xbox explode.
Yes. So like that's actually even funnier how that happened because like they went like, okay, we need to put in a Fantastic Four character. Let's go with the Human Torch. Oh no, the Human Torch eats all of the RAM. There is no RAM anymore. It doesn't exist. And they went to Marvel and said, hey, the Human Torch won't work. Can we put in Reed Richards? And Marvel said, no, fuck it. Put in Super Scroll. But yeah, I found a list of characters. It's you know, so some of the list is substantiated, some of them is not. You know, take it with a grain of salt overall. But some of these characters are highlighted because those characters had more work or thought put into them than the others. I don't know how I'll let you know of those, but still. And you know,
Okay.
some of these are very easy and fast. Like Venom, Marvel said no. That's it. Which we're talking about Marvel 3.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, at the time of Marvel 3's release, Venom would have been mostly at that time people would think of Spider-Man 3, which was not a good time to think of Venom.
Yeah. Silver Surfer. They couldn't make the surfboard work, and he looked too much like Iceman, so they cut him.
Yeah, that makes sense for the most part. I am looking too much like Iceman is like a whatever, but the board would create problems. Yes.
No, that's the thing. So they couldn't make the board work, so they figured we're just gonna have Silver Surfer without the board. But then they saw that he looked like Iceman, and went, no, we're not having this fucker.
Yeah, Surfer without the board is just Iceman.
Alright, Dr. Octopus was made, but the tentacles couldn't work.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Octopus was so made that if you get regular Marvel, you can still go into the files, and there's still fucking you can still find the whatchamacallit, the like avatar image, the little profile for the character select screen for him.
Ooh.
Yeah. Miles Morales. They thought about him.
2010?
11.
Damn.
But yeah, Miles Morales. They thought about him. Marvel and Capcom agreed that it would be cool, but there is no time.
Wasn't there also that they were allegedly at one point working on Luke Cage and he got cut for some reason?
Yeah, I'll get to him eventually.
Oh.
Yeah. Black Panther was considered. He came back for Infinite. But that's it.
Yep.
Juggernaut? They thought about putting in Juggernaut, but Marvel said that they can either use Juggernaut or Sentinel, and Capcom said, alright, we'll use Sentinel then.
Yeah, I think that's part of the thing with Marvel 3 is you're starting to get to the period where Marvel is going to start putting their foot down and saying you can only have like 4 X-Men. Any more than that will kill you.
Yeah.
Or Kevin Feige probably like, well, we need to put over the MCU, so stop putting in Fox characters.
Alright, so this next one got some serious thought or effort put into them. Cloak and Dagger. Let me read out the entire thing that it says here. They were liked by the dev team since Cloak, who would be hovering over Dagger, functioned similarly to stand abilities in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Sadly, there was an issue since he visually clashed with the SS. There are also problems with mixing two characters into one.
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger, that's when we're like, from the Capcom side, it's like, oh, what an interesting character to try and implement. And from the Marvel side, Marvel has never not been trying to push Cloak and Dagger for 40 years now.
Yeah.
Marvel has been utterly convinced that Cloak and Dagger is a fucking all-time all-star superhero gimmick for the last 40 years, and it's not been working, but that's never going to stop them. They're going to keep pushing Cloak and Dagger. So that's one where it's like, yeah, Capcom and Marvel both would be happy with that. The consumer would kind of lose, but fuck them.
I don't know. I like Cloak and Dagger. I like the look of Cloak. At least.
I like Cloak and Dagger, at least partly in concept, but like as characters, it's like where's the sauce?
Yeah, as characters, I think they appeared in one comic that I've read, and they shared like 4 lines of dialogue between the two of them.
Yeah.
This one I will read out the entire thing. This was also on developed character. Multiple Man. The game could not handle him multiplying himself.
No, I imagine he would cause some problems, yes.
Like, this feels like the Human Torch but with extra steps.
Multiple Man is like, you'd have to make him be like fucking Bedman.
Yeah. Alright.
Like, good lord, that's... Multiple Man is one of those ones that they draw out in the dev studio. And I would say, well, are we working with fucking NASA computers? Then we're not doing multiple Man.
Right,
Are you insane?
Rogue got canned because they didn't want her kissing women.
That makes sense. It's kind of shocking that in Marvel 2 she can do that. And Marvel 1. Well, she wasn't in Marvel 1. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, that she can do that as well.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't say that explicitly, but I'm pretty sure that's the reasoning, because let me read that. Her personality and the nature of her powers would have conflicted with ESRB. Now, unless Rogue's power involves, like, sucking people off on screen, suddenly, then, it's just the kiss switch.
What I'll say is there's a difference between Marvel 2's rather derpy Rogue kissing sprite, where sometimes she can, like, if you ever put Rogue in Mugen and have her kiss various characters, there are oftentimes where the damage sprites work out in such a way that Rogue is not kissing them on the lips, she's kissing their chest or even their knees. But whereas Marvel 3 in 3D, they odds are have to actually make it a dedicated animation of her locking lips with them. And that would be considerably more erotic than the derpy old pose she had in Marvel in the past in the Sprite games.
I guess so. Spiral got some development, but took too long to develop due to her 6 arms, multiple swords, and magic attacks.
Yeah, Spiral's one of those ones that is 100% easier to do in sprite form.
Yeah. This one is sad. It's funny but sad. Psylocke. The team liked her and thought to pit her against Standard Hiryu, but she wasn't popular enough. That's it. Just not enough interest.
Yeah, that would also be one where Marvel would say, stop picking fucking X-Men!
Yeah. Spider-Woman got rejected because they already had Trish.
Huh?
Alright. Squirrel Girl got axed because they had to choose between her and Rocket Raccoon. Apparently.
Odd.
Yeah.
I guess you're only allowed 2 furry rodent-themed characters?
I guess. I'm jumping over a couple of people, but it was just, it's stuff like, okay, Loki and Mystique, they just figured they couldn't pull them off in a fun way. But Blade, deemed too similar to Dante.
Oh. Yeah, I never quite thought of it that way, but yeah, they're both Mr. One's sword and guns.
Yeah.
Oh, Blade's half vampire. Well, Dante's half demon.
Yeah. Well, Blade wears a long black coat, but Dante wears a long red coat.
Yeah. And Blade's coat is red on the inside.
And Dante's is black on the inside.
Well, several points, yes. Oh.
This one is also kind of sad. Kingpin, not interesting enough, lost his spot to MODOK.
It's the lost his spot to Matt MODOK part that's the killer.
Yeah. Black Widow.
Kingpin. Yeah. I'll say I love Kingpin. Kingpin has no place in a fighting game.
Yeah. But still, MODOK.
That's pretty fucking hysterical.
Kingpin not being in Marvel makes sense, but like, fucking hell.
I mean, MODOK, you have to concede, is no matter what visually striking.
Yeah, true. And I mean, I don't think Kingpin would have had his impersonator outfit.
No. Well, possibly.
Black Widow and the Hood were caught because they had too many gun people. So something that would not hold them back come Infinite.
I liked the Hood, by all means. The Hood was very much flavor of the time.
I don't even know who the Hood is. I'll look him up.
I'm sure Pink could cut you a combo, because if memory serves, he remembers who Hood is, and he doesn't have as much appreciation for the character.
Oh. Huh? This made sense, and then I looked at 2 other images, and then it stopped making sense. So he's whatchamacallit. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I was about to say, oh, he's Ghost Rider. No, this is like the image I'm looking at is him becoming Ghost Rider. Like, shoot.
Who?
Hood became Ghost Rider.
Oh.
And like he's still Hood, but he's also Ghost Rider.
I see.
What do you mean new MCU supervillain? I never. Usually I would have heard people complain about this guy, at least.
I haven't heard anything about the Hood popping up in MCU.
Well, anyway, yeah, fair enough. Every image that I'm seeing of him is wielding Akimbo pistols, so.
Yep, absolutely. The entire idea of the Hood was, what if a dumbass thug got his hands on an incredibly powerful magic artifact? Which, in a sense, is more or less just the idea behind the Wreckers, but now we're doing it 40 years later, so now it's cooler and newer, right?
Yeah.
No one's thought to do this before, except for when they thought to do this before 30 years ago.
So Carol Danvers was considered, but during gameplay she looked too much like Storm and She-Hulk, so she got cut.
Well, that's already like, okay, so we're only allowed to have how many chicks?
Yeah.
But also that is another time. That is a time capsule little thing there, because just give it 2 or 3 more years, and Marvel would be kicking down Capcom's door, saying, "Is Carol Danvers in the game yet?"
Yeah.
no, and then they would execute one of Capcom's employees and say, "We're going to come back and kill an employee every day until she's in the game."
Yeah. So Emma Frost was made for the game, and then after she was finished, Marvel went to Capcom and went like, "Hey, wouldn't it be cool if Jean Grey became Phoenix, Dark Phoenix, when she died?" And they went, "Yeah, actually, never mind. Fuck Emma Frost, we'll cut her."
I would hope they reused most of Emma's assets to make Jean, because otherwise this is really making it sound like aiding just wastes a bunch of their own dev time by shit canning characters that they should have talked to Marvel about first anyways.
I'll read you the exact thing that it says. Shortly after developing her, Emma Frost, Marvel came to Capcom with the idea of Phoenix transforming into Dark Phoenix on death, which they agreed was better. Which in light of Emma Frost,
I can kind of imagine Emma Frost doing Jean's idol.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there'd have to be big moveset changes going from Emma to Jean, just because probably a lot of Emma's moveset would be based on her turning into Diamond, and Jean can't do that. Emma to me, like, it is fascinating from a character design perspective, putting her in video games, but that's mostly just because I remember how she was in Marvel Heroes, where she was fascinating because she just had a button to flip between regular form and diamond form on the fly. And in diamond form, she was incredibly tanky to make up for the fact that she just legitimately could not cast any of her psychic spells at all.
I mean, if nothing else, then she might have been an instant character like Dante.
Maybe, but I feel like it would still be that she would still logically lose access to all of her psychic moves.
Yeah. This one is funny. War Machine was supposedly worked on, but given that he was listed on the US website, but that's all we know.
Throwing in War Machine without having the gimmick on of, oh, we can't have Iron Man, so we'll just do War Machine instead, is kind of funny to me. I like War Machine a lot, but nonetheless, he is more or less just kind of knock off Iron Man in a lot of senses.
Yeah. Oh, Electra was supposed to be in, which is why we have the whole hideout stage, but then she didn't make it in.
Yeah, and Daredevil was just hanging out in the back being evil, because that was a thing in the comics at the time.
No, that's the thing. That's a thing with Ultimate to make the hideout make more sense. There was an older head hideout level in Vanilla that didn't have Daredevil. It was in like some mountains. It was just like 10 soldiers training and shit. It made no sense.
See.
But
I mean, that at the very least is a fairly exotic place to choose from the Marvel.
Yeah.
From the Marvel, repertoire, while still fitting in with like Capcom and Street Fighter type stuff,
Yeah. Cyclops. Marvel said no. That's all it says. Which, yeah. All right, Luke Cage. The 2011 Tohoku earthquake and tsunami really screwed them over. There was gonna be 8 extra planned characters for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but because of the earthquake and tsunami, they couldn't finish those. Luke Cage would have been one of them. Bless you. Now, Luke Cage and John Talbot are the only 2, as far as I'm aware, that we know of that were supposed to be in the 8. So who knows who the other 6 are?
Yeah, huh?
Gil was in the game. But
Oh God.
like he was straight up in the game, but he was too fast, and his hair was clipping like ass. So
I would bet.
so they replaced him with Nemesis.
Yeah, Gil in Street Fighter V, his hair was already weird, you know?
Yeah.
That is an amusing thought, though.
So Ingrid was considered for the game, but when she came up, Nitsuma, who was the director for the game, just said, "You again."
I mean, there's got to be people in-house at Capcom that think she's garbage, you know?
Yeah. Then, there's an entire dedicated Darkstalkers section because there were a couple of Darkstalkers characters considered. Like I said, John Talmain was supposed to be in, but didn't make it in because of the earthquake and tsunami. Dimitri. Midnight Bliss. Need I say more?
Yeah, people are going to expect that, and Marvel is not going to like that.
Oh, it's not even just that Marvel would not like that. Imagine making the Midnight Bliss in 3D for every character. Double the character models. Double the character models.
Yep. Don't put animation skeletons on them. There you go.
That doesn't
make
make
just
it
props.
That doesn't make it faster. But yeah, Anito. They considered making an adult Anito, but Nitsuma didn't like it.
I know Anita's like got a special condition with Marvel because Donovan's never been in Marvel vs. Capcom, but she's been in several. But nonetheless, it's just weird for Anita to be all over the place with Capcom's stuff, dealing with like crossovers. And like she feels like she gets a disproportionate amount of appreciation relative to anyone from Darkstalkers other than Morrigan and Felicia, you know?
Yeah. And then, funnily enough, Donovan was considered but lost his spot to both Shenko and Felicia. Like, the Donovan, once Shenko and Felicia were considered, they just said, fuck Donovan. Then, Capcom considered, like, even made some effort into Fulu and Nina from Breath of Fire, but, Fulu was, but both of these characters really were taken out because people outside of Japan don't know Breath of Fire. Mostly.
Yeah, it's not entirely unknown, but yeah, Breath of Fire will kind of forever go down in history. It's just kind of like, oh, it's like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest, but for not.
Yeah. But then, like, here's the stinking part for all four Breath of Fire fans. Nina was removed in favor of Firebrand.
Oh, Fire. See, I'd rather have an actual turd than Firebrand at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking sick of him.
Also, someone
like,
yeah, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Hasn't every crossover game that Firebrand's been in been made by like the same dev dude?
I don't know. He would have had to start at SNK and then go to Capcom.
Like, my memory is that dude has like more or less just explicitly, like, the guy that made the Red Armor game has just slammed Firebrand into every single game he could. Like, he's just decided that Firebrand is his boy.
And we're all to suffer for it.
More or less. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So also the person in Cat from Breath of Fire was considered because they were trying to find a female staff user, but most of them, if not all of the ones listed, lost in terms of priority, whatever that means.
Okay. Are we
Yeah.
talking like old school talk where old fighting gamers used to just use a priority to refer to frame data and shit?
I don't know. I guess what it means is that they really wanted to include a female staff user, but then ran out of time. Like that's literally the only way that I can make sense of this sentence. And they spent so much time looking for a female staff user that one just didn't get made. Because there isn't fun in the game.
Yeah.
Onimusha, Soki. The team made him an early phase character, but felt he was too weak and slow, and couldn't balance him in time, so he got caught.
These are the weird stories to me of like, so you didn't just buff him?
Yeah. We need more death time for fucking the Red Armor.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They just keep cutting into the precious red armor time. Fuckers.
Someone named Samanosuke from Onimusha was just legal issues. Whatever, I don't know Onimusha, so...
Well, Onimusha, the thing is that Onimusha uses real actors.
Ah, that would explain it, yes.
Mm-hmm. And, Jean Reno plays one of the main characters of Onimusha 3, which gets real weird.
This is sad. It's funny but sad. Red Earth. I'll go with the more default one for Smiling. Once again, female staff user was desired but lost in terms of priority, whatever that means. But Tessa would have been paired with rival Doctor Strange, but Nitsuma couldn't convince the team to include her. They hated her.
That was uncalled for.
And then here's just a short list of other with a note after that I'll get to. So Chuck Green was top of the list, but didn't even get to the concept phase.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they wanted to push Dead Rising 2 more than one at that time, but Chuck's not Frank.
Yeah.
There's a difference of personality.
Franziska von Karma from Phoenix Wright. She was actually like they wanted to include her for Tatsunoko. They didn't have time to include her for Tatsunoko, so they tried again this time. They didn't have time to include her this time either.
I remember hearing about Franziska von Karma and thinking, okay, that is just so bizarre. Trying to double down on her over Phoenix, right? Or anyone else that would have been more recognizable and cool from that series.
Yeah.
Like, it was legitimately just, we chose her over the other characters from Ace Attorney because she has a weapon.
Yeah. Alright.
Like, if you were to ask me, like, okay, we have to get somebody from Ace Attorney, but not Phoenix Wright, I would go, oh, Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah. Classy.
Apollo Justice. Who'd you say?
I said Classy.
Plussy.
I forget her name, but one of the killers is a clown woman. She became a meme.
Oh, Clussy.
Yeah.
Clussy with a C. I see. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the pictures. Yeah. That was quite a character design.
Don't worry, that's balloons.
That's disappointing.
That's genuinely a plot point in the game.
That she uses balloons to...
Yes.
Wow.
So yeah. Monster Hunter was considered, but didn't go past that stage. We don't know. Like we don't know what gender of Monster Hunter, if it if it ended up being the infinite, it would have been the Infinite Hunter or not. Whatever. X. They ran out of time. Yeah.
Well, he at least made it into Infinite, so that's not too shabby.
Yeah. Now this one I don't get. Son. The usual lost in terms of priority spiel, but she was also better recognizable to the Western audience. Marvel 2! Like, Son, the original game, sure. But she was in Marvel 2. And she's not even the original Son.
No.
Anyway, Ariana, Cyberbots. Naked Woman. All you need to know.
Oh, the naked chick. You're
Yeah.
right.
And then the last specific name that we get is Jean from Godhead, lost to Frank West.
You know, that's an awkward one.
I mean, that's one of those things where like it's like it's like Kingpin losing to MODOK. Like I get it, but at the same time, did it have to be fucking MODOK? It's a similar thing of like Frank West is fine, but also it's very funny when you put it when you put it like this.
Yeah. I love Frank. You know, Frank's my boy, but nonetheless, I could see that being very insulting.
But yeah, then also there were over 150 female characters from both sides considered for the game aside from the ones already in. We never got a full list of the 150. Thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, like. Oh yeah, also the this are reading, it says that with the 8 characters, it was either the Tohoku earthquake and tsunami, or it was Marvel rushing them that made it so they didn't have time. It was probably a combination of the two, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah. So how do you feel about these characters that they had considered?
You know, there's some ones in there that I thought. I think I said before that I don't see Capcom doing Luke Cage, so that was a fun one to find out. I was dead wrong on that.
Yeah, like Luke Cage and John Bane. Because like I made my Marvel 4 roster not knowing any of this, going, hey, I like these characters. And then turns out, yeah, Capcom also likes these characters, they just run out of time. Kind of funny.
Yeah.
There's also some funny ones with the earlier ones, like She-Hulk. She-Hulk was supposed to be Marvel 1.
I can see that. She feels like she would fit right into that roster.
Yeah, she was supposed to be Marvel 1, but I forget exactly why she didn't make it in. But She-Hulk was supposed to be Marvel 1, and then, who was it? Doctor Doom and somebody else. Iron Man, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No, it was someone else aside from Iron Man. I forget who. Whatever. But somebody and Doctor Doom were supposed to be Marvel 1 as well, but Acclaim got the game rights to them, so they couldn't be Marvel anymore. Which is why Marvel 1 has Omega Red and Cyclops.
I see.
And the way that people figured out that that it was supposed to be Doctor Doom in Omega Red's slot is that there's pre-made teams and the game always teams up Bison with Omega Red, and that makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, they're both. I mean, Omega Red's still vaguely in evil territory, but Doctor Doom makes a lot more sense to buddy up with old M. Bison than Omega Red does.
Yeah. But yeah, looking through this list and all that, it was fun for me when I like just overall, but also just looking through it and going like, some of these came back in Infinite, but some of these and some of these even made sense, but also like fucking Kingpin losing to MODOK will never not be funny.
It almost feels mean spirited.
Yeah. Like, it could have been anyone else. Kingpin could have lost to Dormammu, but no, it was MODOK.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, but like, I really like Marvel vs. Capcom's MODOK.
Yeah. I played him for a bit, yeah, but...
Yeah, you just sit in the corner being a shitter, putting down knowledge spheres and whatever else.
Yeah, I played him for a bit. He was fun, but it's still like... once again, to me, it is genuinely the same as Gene not making it because of FrankQuest. Like, the character that replaced them isn't bad, but the situation itself is very funny.
Yeah, because these aren't iconic characters, or rather, MODOK's iconically a goof, and Frank is iconic for Dead Rising, but not necessarily for being a great fighting game character.
Yeah. I guess the question is, let's say since we don't know the rest of the 8 characters that they might have planned to include in Marvel 3, which ones would you prefer to be the other 6?
Oh boy.
Do you want me to send
how
over
many
the
of these
list?
were Marvel and how many were these were Capcom?
Oh boy. I mean, some of the I'll run through them and cut them together, but some of these are repeated. Well, by repeated, I mean like one of these is just the Fantastic Four because Marvel wanted all of the Fantastic Four, and then it's like the Human Torch because they actually made him Mr. Fantastic because they they actually done some work on him apparently before being told no, actually just put in Super Scroll, fuck it. All right, so that's 30 Marvel characters, and I'll count the Capcom ones.
Excellent. Just lean my seat onto the cat. Yeah.
All right, 30 Marvel, 20 Capcom.
And that's for you're listing off the cut characters, right? How many?
Yes.
Okay, but of the characters that you said you want me to fill in the blanks for.
6. I don't know.
Okay, 6 of each or 6?
No, 6 overall.
6 overall. And I can't list off the characters that we've already said are cut characters. But
You
would be cool for Marvel 3.
Well, fuck it out. I can't speak. Like I think it's fine for us to pick from the characters that were caught because we're talking about like who would have we like to be in the 8 that they included if it wasn't for the earthquake or Marvel rushing them or both.
Well, let's see. 8 characters of Marvel 3. Well, Luke Cage would have been cool.
Yeah, Luke Cage and Tom Bain are not given because those are the 2 we know for sure we're supposed to be in the 8.
So the remaining 6, let's see. Rogue.
Yeah.
Dr. Wily. He seems more fun than most Mega Man characters, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm going to make a really stupid pick because the thought just came into my head, and I'd love to see how he could possibly be made crazier for Marvel. Hakan.
Oh boy.
Yeah. We're getting in there, brother. Let's see. Let me hit another Capcom character. I can't say Jill because she is in Marvel 3, just not the Jill I want.
Yeah, it's not good, Jill. It's post sandwich, Jill.
What? Okay. Okay. Then if I can't go with Jill, I'm gonna go with not Leon. I feel like screw it, Rebecca. Why not? And on the Marvel side, let's see. Venom would have been hell to animate, but I'm actually going to go ahead and go with Venom. It just feels odd that he's not in Marvel 3.
They did it for Infinite with like more revealing graphics get-ups, and it was good. So
yeah, Venom's the best looking character in Marvel Infinite by far.
Yeah.
Can we backport Infinite Thanos?
No, you get bubbles.
Oh no. Well, in that case, let's stay away from that. And let's see. Colossus, and give him some more moves this time, so he's not just got 2 special moves, so he has to just figure out what to do with.
All right. Well, for my list, I'm actually gonna go with the character that they cut from Tatsunoko. You know who I'm talking about already.
Do I?
Yes, Natemasa
I watched that. Oh, yeah.
I randomly came across just an image of them their like paper that they sent out to like shops and shit, and then or whatever. It was something like that, and it featured the characters. It was like Natemasa. I went, what do you mean? No, he wasn't supposed to be in this game.
And that's the tragedy of it all.
Yeah. And then, that is why I have no main in Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
Yeah. And, like, I know Frank's in there, but I don't know if it's the Frank Well, I don't even really like Frank's playstyle in Marvel 3. It's just I play him because he's Frank, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not good with Marvel 3 Frank at all.
I mean, you'd have Marvel 3 Frank, because he's more or less the same in Tatsunoko as he's in Marvel 3, because once again, they literally built Marvel 3 on the skeleton of Tatsunoko vs. Capcom.
I see.
But, yeah. And then you also have Alex.
Oh, that's right.
Meanwhile, the only character on that cast that I never play is Zero.
Yeah, and Zero's a desperation pick, and almost, you know?
Yeah.
But like, oh shit, I guess I can work with this.
But I don't want to play as Batsu. I want to play as Akira. She's the protagonist of Rival Schools. What do you mean?
I thought it was a cool guy with the glasses that sucks super hard.
Fucking Kyosuke.
Yeah, that guy.
Although one funny thing that I did do like is Batsu Super is a team up attack with whoever you choose as the second character. If the second character dies, then he gets a stronger team up attack where he cries.
Ha!
And that was funny.
That's great.
Yeah. But yeah, so Masamune, that's one. Let's see. Trying to remember the Marvel. I got Venom. I need my boy Venom.
Yeah.
I will not make it all boy picks. So I will not pick Omega Red or Gambit. But if I have to choose one out of those three, Venom, he has the two. Yeah.
Gambit's better time for Marvel 4 than he is for Marvel 3.
Yeah.
Marvel 3 more or less lands in the period of Gambit's irrelevancy. And now it's like, hey, Deadpool and Wolverine, y'all.
Yeah. Now, if only someone
them for myself.
now, if only someone would do something for Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler is one of those characters that's just going to appeal to people like the moment they get a good Nightcrawler in the movies, you know?
Yeah.
Ow.
But yeah, let's see. I'm almost tempted to say Gil just because I the hair fucking up would be funny. But yeah, I also have to
just make his hair be exploding.
Yeah. But yeah, I also have to keep in mind we're talking 2011. I have to
Yeah.
I have to try and keep in mind like, oh, all right. So what was 2011? Which I mean, it was a bad time for Capcom, for one, but. Hmm. Okay, you know what? Sure, Captain Commando, he comes back.
Fuck it.
The legacy lives on. He continues
if they were throwing around the possibility of San, come on.
Yeah. Actually, now that you say that, yes, Amigo.
I agree.
There's
never a bad time for a Mingo.
Yeah. And then I guess there's another Marvel pick. Just so it's not fucking five Capcom characters and Venom. I mean, for similar reasons to Gil, I also tempted to say Human Torch. Just like release him as a play at your own risk DLC.
Yeah. It's a new ESRB rating, like some of those sexy DLCs or blood DLCs, but instead it blows up your console ESRB rating.
Yeah. Like, this character is tournament bad, not because he's broken when it comes to, like, you know, fighting other people. No, he's just broken in general. The game doesn't function when you play as him. The longer he's on screen, the less the game functions.
Oh shit.
But fucking hell, there was someone they added in Infinite that I liked. That they could have added in 3 as well, but I forget who. And it also wasn't Thanos. In the bubble.
Yeah.
Fuck it, you know what? War Machine.
Ah! You need Iron Man, but with more lasers in place of the rockets, and more rockets in place of the lasers.
Yes. Actually, you know what? No, never mind. Not War Machine. Bone Club Wolverine.
Oh, now you're making the spicy picks. Everyone rumored, nobody knew.
Yeah. Ah, fucking hell. Uh, and like the thing about the Bone Club Wolverine is, by the way, and I don't know if you've heard of this, but Capcom was only going to include Bone Club Wolverine in Marvel 2. And Marvel said, no, put in Adamantium Wolverine 2. But you can keep Bone Club if you really want to.
Well, I knew Bone Claw was going to be temporary. That wasn't going to be a permanent gimmick in the comics. Such a fucking funny thing, though, to just see how much of a time capsule that makes Marvel 2 in so many ways.
Yeah. Oh, wait, actually, okay, genuinely, though, I would have liked to see Cable back in 3.
Yeah? Cable being one of the 5, depending on who you ask, I guess.
One of the 6, one of the 7.
2. Yeah.
Like, there are more gods every time we talk about them, but genuinely, though, like, it's Magneto, Storm, Doctor Doom. Those are the 3 that we know for sure. And then it's like Sentinel, Iron Man, I feel like there's a 6th guy. Yeah, Cable.
Dawson, possibly.
Dawson sometimes. He's a part-timer.
Strider, but only if Doom is also there.
Yeah.
Captain Commando, as long as he's not on point.
Yeah, Captain Commando, but only as assist.
Yeah. Oh, man. Fighting games, they're great.
Yeah. But yeah, like I would have liked to see Cable in Marvel 3 as well, just to see how they tried to get him under control. Because like with Sentinel is still stinky in 3, sure, but he's not as stinky as in Marvel 1, or not. He's not even in Marvel 1, but Marvel 2 or Superheroes versus Street Fighter. I think that was the last game he was in before Marvel. So like how what do they do to make Hyper Viper Beam still be useful but also not broken? And how do they make the rest of his kit not suck?
Well, the thing is, Air Hyper Viper Beam suddenly becomes not special the moment you make its startup be more than 1 frame.
Oh, it is. It's 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, but in Marvel 2,
him.
Yeah, no. I mean, in Marvel 2, it doesn't start on frame 1; it starts on frame 2. Big difference that makes.
Yeah.
So in Marvel 3, of course, to continue with the scheme, Air Hyper Viper Beam starts on frame 3. By Marvel 5, it might be balanced.
We're working it up there. We gotta do it by degrees, though.
Yeah. But then we get to Marvel 8, and then it starts being weak. Because now there's the H-frames of startup.
Marvel 2000. Oh. Cable start Air Hyper Viper Beam. It's gonna take him a while to pull that gun out.
Cable starts up on Air Hyper Viper Beam, and then the beam like just randomly spawns in like 4 matches later.
You're making a bet. Like, I don't need to help this match, but 4 matches from now,
and this
I'm
is
gonna need that
moment.
beam to come in clutch.
Yeah. There's also some interesting things that I've learned about the way that they handled these games, both Marvel and CVS, through the videos that I've been seeing and just doing my own research and shit. So apparently, Marvel with Marvel, it's whatever goes. Frank West is here. With CVS, they uh they canned characters that they thought about because they learned from fighting games. Like they went specifically like, all right, CVS is only for fighting game characters.
Yeah.
There will be no Strider here, at least for the next 40 years.
Strider I almost feel like has been in Marvel enough that I think him as a fighting game character.
Oh, that's the thing. So that's a funny story. Strider 1 came out. It was a success. It literally saw Genesis before Sonic the Hedgehog. Strider Hiryu is Sonic's older brother, in a way. Like, Strider was the thing that was like the killer app for the Genesis before Sega made Sonic. But, yeah. So, all of that happened. We get to Marvel 1. The guy who is directing Marvel 1 was a big fan of Strider. So he's like, hey guys, why don't we put Strider in? He eventually gets them to add Strider. Everyone likes Strider, so they make Strider 2. If not for Marvel, there is no Strider 2.
I see.
Then, 10 years later, maybe 20, I don't know. I'm not doing math in the background. But Marvel 3 comes out. People still like Strider, so we get the Strider reboot.
Yeah.
So basically, if we get a Marvel 4, and Strider is in it, and people still like Strider, I might get a new Strider game.
The math just works out.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked twice before. At this point, Marvel is just the thing that makes it so Strider gets new sequels. Who knows? Maybe this one will be open world or something. The last one was a Metroidvania.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Strider, so I couldn't even ponder it.
It was like it was an action platformer, and then the new one was a Metroidvania, and that's pretty much it. That's the series progression thus far.
I see.
But then who knows? Strider might be getting into Street Fighter, so
If not Strider, then Strider's grandpa again.
But that's what I'm saying. That Strider isn't like that's the weird part. So like the Strider names are fucking dumb. They can be reused, but also the Strider Hiryu that you play in Strider 1 and the one that's in Marvel, and also the one that's in all of the games is the same guy but reincarnated. I guess
Okay.
he just keeps getting the same designation because Hiryu isn't his real name. And the Strider is just his profession. Like, the Strider is just calling him Ninja.
I see.
So yeah, like, they could add a Strider to Street Fighter, depending on how fast they want Seku to split up from Bushiru and just form Stridering. But also, they have genuinely already written the like which guy will continue Bushiru once Seku splits off, and he shows up in Street Fighter 6. So yeah, like Kimberly talks about having met the guy, and that guy will beat Guy to be the Bushiru Master after Guy. And
I see.
And the Zeku is also already doing his Strider bullshit on the side. By the time that this guy is in power, if memory serves. So we might not be that far off from actually getting on modern day Strider in Street Fighter.
Huh.
Yeah,
That's pretty fucking neat.
yeah. Like it's one of those things where like the interconnectivity of the Capcom games can feel a bit forced sometimes, but at the same time, sometimes you get to these things where it's like, oh, like fucking 20 years ago on the NES, this character said that thing. Time to make it have a payoff. It's canon now.
I'll say for my part, the interconnectivity of the Capcom games is a part of the joy of them.
Yeah.
And also it leads to goofy stuff like playing Dead Rising and thinking, Frank once fought Thanos. And he didn't get entirely dunked.
So it makes sense how he beat Gene from Godhand.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why, but it's funny imagining that the characters, like when we know which characters they got replaced by, they actually just had a fight for who gets in.
MODOK just headbutted Kingpin into submission.
Yeah. MODOK, no, you're smarter than this.
Behold the power of my brain! I'm going to hit you with it!
Which of the letters in MODOK's name stands for Shibata?
Mechanical organism designed only for Katsuyori.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? I forget. Oh yeah, that's another thing that I guess we need to hit on now, though. That Capcom games being interconnected also leads to some weird ass shit in the long run. Like now, Terry Bogard is canon. Fatal Fury is canon.
Yeah. Where is Southtown?
Geese is dead. For now.
Where is Southtown?
I mean, Terry goes to Metro City with a taxi, so I'm gonna assume it's, at least, or rather at most, like, I don't know, a couple of hours drive away. Or he paid the taxi driver a lot of money.
Huh?
But this does raise some questions, a couple of them, because Capcom has been making it pretty clear this is not a KOF collaboration, this is a Fatal Fury collaboration, which means that we still get King of 1, but KOF characters are still on the table. Potentially.
I mean...
yeah?
I mean, the thing is Iori, right?
Yeah.
Because when you play CVS 2, it's like, my god, Terry fits right into the Street Fighter cast, and boy, does he. And the other character that every time I play CVS 2, I go, man, this dude just fits right into the Street Fighter cast, it's Iori, every time.
I mean, the thing with the KOF cast, for me, is that there's characters that I feel like would be the obvious choice that they go for, just off of previous patterns, and there's characters that I feel like would fit really well or just be really interesting. Because, like, if we go off of previous patterns, if they do a specifically KOF collaboration with SNK, it's gonna be Kyo because he's the protagonist, and then it's gonna be like Leona or Chizuru or who am I forgetting?
Could do Vice or Mature.
Yeah, could do Vice or Mature. There's other Hula. There's also some other KOF chick that is important technically, but I forget who. Whatever. I mean, the one that I'd want is for them like if they go with that scheme, I want that season to also feature Dudley, and then for the woman included from the guest woman included to be Vanessa.
Vanessa, Dudley, and Heavy D.
Yeah.
Getting
Vanessa.
all of them in there, Rog is not invited.
No, no, no. That's what I was gonna say. Vanessa, Heavy D, Dudley, Barrog. That season is all boxers.
That I would love that. Rog would be so out of place though.
Okay.
It's like it's a bunch of very elegant, high-speed boxers, and then Rog, who is like, I'm just gonna hit you once real fucking hard.
Okay then. Heavy D, Vanessa, Dudley, Steve Fox.
Okay, well, if the Tekken collab is a different question, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because, like, Tekken, the designs are already there. They've done them already.
Yeah. But yeah, just to go back to KOF for a sec. The thing is, like you said, Iori would fit in very well to Street Fighter. Rugal. Like, I feel like there's a lot of potential story for Rugal. Just because CVS might be canon.
Well, yeah, between him and Akuma, there's probably some old beef, I suppose.
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't see them ending Rugal, just because they seem to be going out of their way to be like, all right, here's protagonist, here's first lady, because Terry is very obviously the protagonist of Fatal Fury. Mai is so much the first lady of Fatal Fury that she's also the first lady of KOF. Like, you would be hard pressed to find a more first lady character outside of like Chun-Li.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I would like Rugal just because for one, Rugal in this engine would be fucking awesome. Obviously,
Yes.
and I also feel like Rugal could work off of Akuma. Obviously, Rugal could work off of Bison because they had some beef. And then Ryu could like it could just be a continuation of the thing where like basically Rugal could serve as a second Bison because that's what he did in CVS as well. The only thing is that like he had a more personal thing going on with Akuma.
Yeah, the whole power theft thing, kind of a big deal for those guys.
Yeah. Oh, Athena. Athena was the other one I forgot. Like, yeah, if I had to hazard a guess for an actual realistic guess of what a KOF collab would look like, it would be Kyo and Athena.
Athena's the one though where it's like, does Capcom really want her on the roster gameplay wise?
I would hope not, but
because like there's Sagat, but other than that, like the Fireball, like the zoners of Street Fighter are usually either Stretch Arms McGee or Charge characters, and then JP.
yeah.
But like Sagat,
everyone hates JP.
I'm just going to. But
imagine all of the
Sagat
JP.
really-
Imagine all of the JP haters having to go up against fucking Athena. No.
the good times would not be had.
Athena would
That much
drop.
is for certain.
Athena would drop, and the internet would be taken over by the letters "delete Athena." That same day.
Yeah. She's. I mean, like, I don't even hate Athena, but like her whole thing is just constant fireball oppression. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I tried playing against the CPU win. I forget which KOF it was, but I tried to do it a while back. And my only solace was that I didn't have the game audio on, so I didn't hear Psycho Ball, Psycho Ball.
Psycho shit!
Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. To me, Athena strikes me as the second in command to Mai, where like Athena is the most noteworthy female character, because like Chizuru has big role relevance. She's also only in like 5 games, so you know.
Yeah, she's not really the face of KOF.
Like Leona is fairly well known, but not as much as Athena. They're kind of neck and neck.
Leona.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess really a lot of KOF's issue is that like the iconic KOF women do not originate with KOF.
Yeah, like the only original KOF women that I can think of are Chizuru and Kula. And Kula Diamond, I mean, like, do we need a fifth Shoto?
Yeah. And that's the thing about, like, hypothetically, Art of Fighting. No. I love several Art of Fighting characters, but that pretty well obligates them to get either Rio or Robert. And, like, no, let's not do that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing there is that, like, the if they did an Art of Fighting collab, I would want them to include Yuri Sakazaki, just to acknowledge that she fights like a Kuma.
I mean, yeah, Yuri would be the coolest, but we wouldn't get Yuri over Rio, you know?
I mean, I figure it would be one guy and one girl.
In that case, I think we'd get Rio and King.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Because yeah, like that's also why I don't think we'd get Rugal, because they're not gonna put in Rugal over Kyo. As much as I prefer Rugal to Kyo, like, and like even then, yeah.
I don't mean to be mean-spirited to Kyo. He's a fine main character. No one's asking for Kyo.
Yeah.
Like, people are memeing on Terry replacing him as the icon of KOF, but there's very few people that are actually complaining about him being replaced by Terry as the icon of KOF.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing, like, Orochi. Yeah, fuck that guy. No, Iori.
We're good.
Iori is, a lot more memorable. I prefer playing as Kyo, but Iori has more style. Kyo would only be really memorable if they leaned into some of the memes that span around him, like the fucking wanna play KOF image.
Yeah, him coming through the window.
Yeah, like if one of his game faces is just climbing out of the fucking TV.
Yeah, directly into your living room. He doesn't go any further, just enough to scare the shit out of you the first time he does it.
Yeah.
Just enough to go, Jesus Christ!
Every time he does this, there's like a 5% chance that he yell bodega, but that's it. But then, yeah, like like if they don't lean into that stuff, then I don't see what they would do with Kyo, because Kyo is just anime protagonist, man. He's fine.
Yeah,
he's not really.
Yeah, that's
special. Like, it's kind of a stinky thing where, like, I really like playing as Kyo. You know who I like better from Kyo's team? Benimaru. You know, the comedic relief guy?
Yeah.
The Goro Diamond is whatever, right? And the Goro Diamond is also on the team, yes. But like, if I had to choose one guy out of those three to have in a team, it would be Benimaru, because he has the most character out of the three of them somehow.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, I don't know who they'd go for a KOF representative, because once again, like, I would like Rugal just for the story stuff, but it's not likely. And for like an overall like KOF representative, it would probably be Kyo, but I don't know if Kyo would be the correct answer.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fucking should I?
so that we can all collectively go, why God?
Yeah.
I don't even mind Shinai, but I don't want him to be forced.
Yeah, like the thing with Shunai is that he has all of the things that we just said about Kyo, but he doesn't have the memes.
Yeah.
And then there's also K-Dash. K-Dash is cool, but K-Dash is also not as iconic as Kyo.
No, he's. I would argue, honestly, I think K-Dash is better, but he's not really the classic anime protagonist thing. He's not got that going on, you know?
Yeah.
He's very 90s, and joyfully so, but he's very 90s.
So of course, the KOF representative for Street Fighter should be K49.
Yeah.
Or fucking
Anyways.
Imagine if they announce a KOF collaboration, and then you look up who the representative for KOF is, and it's fucking Ash Crimson. Now, of course,
Well, I wouldn't be too mad.
I was about to say, like, neither of us would be mad, but everyone else would be.
You and I would not be mad, but for different reasons, because you're not gonna play Ash. You
Depends.
want Ash in Street Fighter so you can have Ash versus Guile and live out the meme.
True. I mean, the thing is that if they add Ash, then I also want them to add Remy in the same season.
Charlie Nash.
Yes.
And not Street Fighter V Charlie Nash. No. Alpha.
No. Marvel superheroes. So he gets a projectile off of his fucking flash kick.
He needed it.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny that when they separated Charlie and Guile in 5, finally, they didn't give Charlie a fireball off his kick.
Yeah. When Pink and I played Marvel a week ago or so, I forget. He kept seeing Charlie Nash, and he kept asking, "Who's Charlie?" And every time I had to explain, he's Gal's that friend. And then he'd go, "Oh no."
Yeah. Charlie is very nice and very important for Street Fighter lore, and it looks like KF lore. For Street Fighter lore, but I also understand where Pink, like, he's not a character design that really sticks with you. He's just kind of generic anime cool guy.
Yeah.
And, like, particularly for Pink, who Guile is firmly in the category of I don't give a shit for Street Fighter, you know?
Yeah. Fucking yeah. So that DLC season is Charlie Nash, Remy, Ash Crimson, Kim Cop 1, but the version of him, that one version of him from like fucking bless you, from the first version of Fatal Fury where he had the fireball for some reason.
They hadn't fixed that problem yet.
But yeah, I guess if we like, I guess on one hand we need to wait for Capcom to do another collaboration to see if it is just, you know, one guy and one girl from each collaboration. But just working off of the idea that they are, I guess, who would you pick for KOF?
I hate to throw these answers out because they're both picks for me. They're both characters I love, but I'd pick Iori and Vice. Like, to me, it's just, I don't know. Kyo just still kind of strikes me as very bland for Street Fighter, you know?
Yeah. I guess it depends on which version, because I feel like white jacket bodega Kyo could fit in with all the
Yeah,
Rekka
one of the more
bullshit.
interesting Kyo designs. Leather jacket or classic schoolboy? No.
Yeah, no, like we need that like 2002 to like 2007 Kyo, where he had the fucking the cross shirt and the white jacket, and all of his records record into each other for some reason. Like one of those guys, those could fit into Street Fighter and be fun.
Yeah.
But not like regular Shoto fireball Shoryuken Kyo. No.
Mm-mm.
As for me, like once again, if I want to think about it realistically, it's Kyo and Athena, just because those are the two biggest names of KOF that I can think of.
Athena isn't technically from KOF. She's from Psycho Soldier.
I know, but it's close enough.
I'm giving it out here. Take it.
And the thing though, to some extent I dislike Kula Diamond more than I dislike Athena, because at least Athena has the series staying power.
Oh, really? Because I think we've been over this before. I like Kula, but I can't. But I think Athena's. I'm fine with Athena actually. But I do find her the more annoying of their group.
I dislike both of them, but for different reasons. Like Athena is annoying to fight. I think I just find Kula lame. Like I just do not like her as a character. Whereas Athena, Athena, I've had long enough time to acclimate to, where I can go, alright, she's on the roster, and then just ignore her existence for the most part.
Well, she's never leaving. That much is for certain.
Exactly. So I better get used. But if I have to choose, okay. I mean, this is already not likely, but imagine Q and Siri Pola. Exactly.
So, anyways, unless cursed, thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, if I talk about the actual characters that I would want, but obviously Rugal for the guy, because this the story. They could just have they could literally announce Rugal just by having like a cutscene with the Ko meditating, and then his foot just comes into frame, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then for the girl, let's see. Okay, fuck it. Since she's the one that immediately came to my mind, Vanessa.
Vanessa would be fucking sick. Yes,
Vanessa would be awesome. She is genuinely as likely as Dudley. The only difference is just she's also a guest character, so like Vanessa is. I would say Vanessa is fairly iconic. She's just not as iconic as like Kula or Athena, sadly. Because like if you talk with anyone, if you ever see someone playing KOF, eventually they will talk about Vanessa. People know of Vanessa, but I'm not sure that she has the same what should I call it, like pulling power as Athena or Kula or Chizuru or whoever might. Well, Vanessa probably has more pulling power than Chizuru. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then I guess since I brought it up earlier, Tekken.
Tekken. That one is probably Kazuya and Nina.
Yeah, that's probably the safe answers. Yeah.
I mean, like, other than Nina, for the female representative, it's like, well, there's Xiao Yu, but I mean, that's just Chun Li's daughter.
Yeah, Mei Ling or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the thing of like, all right, well, we also have to think in pairs for that, because Tekken has the obvious pairs, and like Kazuya and Nina makes sense. They've used that before. If we get Shayu, then we'd get Jin because they're paired up. Heihachi, Reina, Reina, I guess.
Yeah, I could see Reina maybe. Yeah.
Then yeah, Heihachi Reina could make sense. But who would you want?
Oh God. King and Asuka. There you go. Or yeah, Asuka.
All right. Oh boy. Listen to the horrors that I am about to unleash.
Okay.
Risty Monteiro.
She would be way less crazy in Street Fighter than Tekken, you know that.
Probably, yeah.
Like, a character switching between lows and overheads that rapid fire in Tekken would be pretty nuts, but you know that she could not be permitted to have the degree of mix-up nonsense that flies in Tekken in Street Fighter.
Yeah, true.
That's just not how Street Fighter works.
But yeah, for like actually the people I want, Lee would be interesting. He missed out on Tekken Cross Street Fighter, or Street Fighter Cross Tekken, so we don't know what he'd look like in a Street Fighter paid job. And,
yeah.
And Lily. Like her fighting style is literally called street fighting, so that could be some like source for jokes, if nothing else.
Yeah.
But yeah, most likely I think it would be Kazuya and Nina, or Heihachi and Reina.
Yeah.
And yeah, we don't fucking Mizoguchi. I forget what series he's from, but but yeah, there's not I guess there's not a lot of other IPs that Capcom could collab with, just straight up like that. Because like Tekken, I suppose, fucking SNK stuff, sure. Orika, I mean, is that really collaboration when they've been canon to your game since they were made?
Yeah.
Like it would just be, hey, I don't actually know who the protagonist of Fighting Layer is supposed to be by now. They're back.
Yeah.
Kinda killed Akuma, but he got better.
Shira say something or other.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, there's. Oh yeah, the fucking reason that I brought all of this up, shit, I completely forgot about it. So yeah, it does once again though. Does raise the question though of like, okay, so Fatal Fury is now canon to Street Fighter. Fine.
Yeah.
But are we sure that it's Fatal Fury? Which I guess really raises the thing of like, okay, so are we gonna do a collab with KOF later or whatever? Because if we do, then or I guess even now, we have to wait until 10 releases and we see his storyline and the way people talk with him and shit. Because CVS might be canon, and if CVS is canon, then what else is canon? Is Marvel canon? Like,
oh boy. Especially considering that most of the Marvel vs. Capcom took place for the alpha versions of the Street Fighter cast.
yeah.
Ooh.
Like this raises
Yikes.
This raises many questions about what is canon and what is not, because previously we could just go, oh well, CVS happened, it has a self-contained story, it has no bearing on the actual Street Fighter lore. Street Fighter 6 might be making it canon. If it is canon, then, then once again, that opens up a can of worms of, okay, but then what else is canon? Did Ryu beat Cyclops in this continuity, in the main continuity?
And did they in fact dap up?
Yeah. And then, like, that also raises other questions, like, okay, so what the fuck was up with Rugal turning into Akuma?
Excellent question.
Which, like, I would assume it's selective canon, so, like, CVS happened, but Rugal and Akuma didn't fight to the death to claim the other's power, I would assume. That's what makes most sense to me, but who knows, maybe they actually will just go, nah, fuck it, whatever, Rugal turned into Akuma for a bit, but Akuma killed and Rugal got better.
Yeah.
Rugal used all of his money to stop becoming Akuma, but taller. I don't know.
Strange times we're coming into here.
Yes. And, like, it's one of those things where, like, of course, a lot of fighting game players don't care about the story. I am one of the few that do. But, like, the story stuff can, like, we have seen previously Capcom using story threads that they've laid down in the 90s, that they went, no one cares about this shit. And they went back to those and went, okay, but this could be interesting, and then they worked on top of that. So, like, story can influence where these games go.
Yeah.
It might not be a major influence, but it can still influence where these games go. So, once again, it just really makes me wonder of, like, okay, so how much of everything that we've seen with Street Fighter is actually canon? Because there's some wild as shit that has happened. And the implications are large.
Yeah.
Like, is Shumogoret in the background at all times a threat?
Almost certainly not.
Probably not. There's like four separate layers of copyright that they need to go through to get Shumogoret, but still.
They'll work harder for him than anyone else at Marvel, though.
Yeah. So yeah, I look forward to Terry's release. If it, like, I look forward to Terry's release because I like Terry, and he seems fun. Everyone that's played him says that he's fun, but also just for the lore stuff, because once again, what the hell is going on? Which, actually, I don't know. Did you see that they're adding the Pow Pow Cafe with Terry?
I did. Yes, it's his stage.
Yes. Now the question with that too.
There's a bunch of the other Fatal Fury characters are just hanging out in the back.
Yeah, the question with that too, I suppose, is it a location in Metro City, or are we in Southtown?
Yeah. That is an interesting question. I assume you'll be flying there.
Probably. It would be okay, but it would be really funny if it actually just says Southtown though. And then the plane...
Is it going to point it out on a map?
The plane stays in place. It's just a neighboring city.
You got a flight for no reason because you're a dick.
Yeah. You're living the Taylor Swift lifestyle.
Yeah, man.
Fucking Southtown is just literally just south of Metro City. And the people from Streets of Rage and Hagar could have teamed up. They just never thought to talk. So yeah, I guess we've discussed everything.
All right.
So I guess fighting games were.
That they were.